Emma Turner, a struggling artist in the city that never sleeps, poured her soul onto the canvas. Her small apartment, nestled in a bustling corner of Greenwich Village, doubled as her studio. The scent of oil paints and turpentine filled the air, a constant reminder of her passion and her struggles.
I love this city's energy, but I fear its indifference.
She longed for recognition, for someone to see the world through the strokes of her brush. Emma dipped her brush into a palette of vibrant hues, each colour representing a different emotion.
Loneliness is my constant companion, a shadow lurking in the corners of my small apartment.
But until then, she found solace in the company of her paints, her canvases, and the dreams that swirled in her heart. Jake Bennett, a successful corporate lawyer, navigated the cutthroat world of Manhattan's financial district with ease. His tailored suits and confident stride exuded an aura of power and control. He had achieved everything he thought he ever wanted: wealth, status, and recognition.
I've become a cog in the corporate machine, my life devoid of passion and genuine connection.
The city lights twinkled outside his office window, a constant reminder of the life he wasn't living. He yearned for something more, a deeper meaning beyond the pursuit of wealth and ambition. He had become a stranger to himself, lost in the labyrinth of his own success. Rain lashed against the windows of a cosy cafe in Greenwich Village, creating a rhythmic symphony that echoed through the nearly empty space. Emma sat huddled in a corner booth, nursing a cup of lukewarm coffee and sketching in her notebook. Her fingers moved deftly, capturing the essence of the storm outside. The cafe, usually bustling with life and chatter, was eerily quiet today. The relentless rain had deterred most patrons, leaving only a few scattered souls seeking refuge. She glanced up as the bell above the door chimed, announcing a newcomer. The sound was almost startling in the stillness. A man, tall and imposing in a dark overcoat, stepped inside, shaking the rain from his umbrella. His presence seemed to fill the room.
Who is he? Why is he looking this way? Emma's curiosity was piqued.
He scanned the room, his gaze settling on Emma's corner booth. There was a moment of hesitation before he made his way over. He approached hesitantly, drawn in by her quiet intensity and the aura of creativity that surrounded her.
Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here? His voice was deep yet gentle. All the other tables are taken. He gestured around the room, though it was clear he had chosen her table for a reason.
And so began their unlikely encounter, a meeting that seemed orchestrated by fate itself. A chance meeting on a rainy evening where two strangers found solace in each other's company. It was a moment that would change their lives forever, a serendipitous twist of fate that neither could have anticipated. As the rain continued to fall outside, Emma and Jake found themselves engrossed in conversation, the world around them fading into the background. She learned his name was Jake, and he was a lawyer, dedicated to his work but feeling a sense of unfulfillment. He was surprised to discover she was an artist, her hands constantly sketching in her notebook, capturing the essence of the world in her unique style. They talked about their lives, their dreams, and their disillusionment with the city they both called home, finding solace in each other's company.
Despite my success, I feel this emptiness, a void that my achievements can't seem to fill.
I struggle to find my place in the art world, constantly questioning if my work truly matters.
Despite their contrasting lives, they discovered a shared sense of longing, a desire for something more than what their current realities offered, a connection that transcended their individual struggles. He was captivated by her passion and her unique perspective on the world, seeing things through her eyes that he had never noticed before. She was drawn to his quiet intensity and the vulnerability he revealed beneath his polished exterior, a side of him that few people ever saw. As the hours passed, the cafe slowly emptied, but they remained lost in their own world, sharing stories and dreams as if they had known each other for years.
I should probably go, but I don't want this moment to end.
He reached for his wallet, but she stopped him, a small gesture that spoke volumes. S1, yes, let's meet again. She insisted, surprising them both with her determination. S1, let me. It was a simple act, but it marked the beginning of something new, a connection that neither of them had expected, but both were eager to explore. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Jake's connection deepened. They spent stolen moments together, exploring hidden corners of the city and sharing intimate dinners in cozy restaurants.
He was my escape from the solitude of my art, and I was his breath of fresh air in the suffocating world of corporate law.
He found himself drawn to her free spirit and her unwavering belief in her dreams.
I was inspired by her determination to find meaning beyond my material success.
But their different worlds began to create a strain on their blossoming romance. His demanding career often took precedence over their plans, leaving her feeling neglected and unimportant.
His attempts to help met with resistance and pride.
The inevitable confrontation came on a cold December evening. Emma had just received another rejection letter from an art gallery. Her hopes for a solo exhibition dashed once again.
It's just another rejection. They said my work wasn't what they were looking for. S2, what's wrong?
Frustration and resentment bubbled to the surface.
Why do you do this to yourself? Why do you insist on struggling when I can give you everything you need?
This isn't about you giving me anything. This is about my dreams, my passion. You just don't understand.
By the time Jake walked out of her apartment that night, the damage was done. The months that followed were a blur of heartache and self-discovery. Emma poured her pain into her art, her canvases becoming a reflection of her shattered heart.
I pushed myself creatively, exploring new techniques and pushing the boundaries of my talent. I rented a small studio space, a sanctuary where I could escape the memories of Jake and focus solely on my art.
Jake, meanwhile, threw himself into his work, burying himself in deadlines and high-stakes negotiations. He tried to forget the emptiness he felt, the void left by Emma's absence. He realized that his success meant nothing without someone to share it with, without someone who saw beyond his accomplishments and loved him for the man he truly was. 6 months later, Emma received an invitation that took her breath away. A prestigious art gallery in Chelsea was hosting a group exhibition featuring emerging artists, and her work had been selected.
I stood in the middle of the gallery on opening night, surrounded by my paintings, a sense of accomplishment washing over me.
As she mingled with guests, discussing her art with a confidence she hadn't possessed before, she noticed a familiar figure standing across the room. Jake stood frozen, his eyes fixed on her, his expression a mixture of awe and regret. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and in that instant all the pain, the anger, the unspoken words melted away. She searched his eyes, seeing genuine admiration and a depth of emotion she hadn't seen before. S2, Emma, you're amazing. Your work ... IT quote, S breathtaking.
Thank you. What are you doing here?
I saw your name in the paper. I had to come. I needed to see you, to tell you.
He stopped, unsure how to express the torrent of emotions swirling within him. She prompted, her heart pounding in her chest. He took a step closer, his hand reaching out to gently cup her face. S1, media, man gently comforting woman in a city alleyway. Tell me what?
Tell you that I was wrong. I was so caught up in my own world, my own insecurities, that I couldn't see what we had. I was afraid to let go, to let you in, to let myself truly love you.
Emma's eyes welled with tears, tears of relief and forgiveness. She had been carrying the weight of their past misunderstandings for so long, and now, in this moment, it felt like a heavy burden was finally being lifted.
Jake, I was afraid too. Afraid of losing you, afraid of not being enough. But now I see things differently.
In that moment, surrounded by the art that had been her salvation, they found their way back to each other. The paintings, each a piece of Emma's soul, seemed to whisper stories of resilience and hope, guiding them back to the love they once knew. They talked for hours that night, sharing their journeys of self-discovery and their renewed appreciation for the love they had almost lost. The city around them buzzed with life, but in their little bubble, time seemed to stand still. They realized that their differences, once a source of conflict, were what made their connection so unique, so special. It was these very differences that had painted the rich tapestry of their relationship, each brushstroke adding depth and color.
I've learned to value your passion and your unwavering pursuit of your dreams. Your dedication inspires me every day.
And I've learned to appreciate your unwavering support and the depth of your love. Your strength has been my anchor.
They left the gallery hand in hand, the city lights twinkling around them, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. The night air was filled with the promise of a fresh start, a chance to rebuild and grow together. Their love story, like the city they called home, was a tapestry of chaos and beauty, of brokenness and healing. Each moment of pain had been a lesson, each joy a celebration of their resilience. And as they walked away hand in hand, they knew that their future, like Emma's canvases, was a blank slate, ready to be painted with the vibrant colors of their love. They were no longer afraid of the unknown, for they had each other, and together they could create a masterpiece.